to meet the men from the ministry. Join us now for another spin in government circles with Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham, and the men from the ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. In Whitehall's General Assistance Office, a crack team are always ready to help out any hard-pressed government department. They're experienced people, used to coping with all kinds of problems. Yet they can still be surprised.
You've been working non-stop almost 20 minutes.
We're under pressure, Mildred. This job for the environment people.
We've been asked to improve London's parks, make them more attractive to tourists and so on. Now, any suggestions?
Well, my boyfriend and I were in Hyde Park last night and he said it wasn't dark enough.
Did he, Mildred?
No, it wasn't dark enough.
No.
Well, in my opinion, the parks are too drafty and cold. I'm hoping to put that right.
Really? How?
I'm getting the trees chopped down. Yes, it's their branches waving about that causes all the wind, you know.
Good idea, man.
I'm suggesting the park authorities get more motor mowers. A grass should be kept to a regulation length of 2.5 centimetres.
I suppose you want me to type all this out, sir?
That's right, Mildred.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that.
I think I might toddle off to lunch. It's gone 11:30.
The permanent Undersecretary should be pleased with what we've done.
Oh, I hope so. Sir Gregory's been very bad-tempered lately. He thinks the whole department's against him.
He's right, of course. It's not that he hasn't got friends, it's just that they all hate him.
Hardly surprising, is it? Ghastly old bore like that.
Aha, now then, you two.
Good morning, Sir Ghastly. Do come in, sir.
Now then, what have you done?
Nothing, sir. We're completely innocent.
I'm talking about the park improvements, the suggestions you have to submit to the Department of the Environment.
Oh, yes, I've ordered more motor mowers.
More motor mowers? Have you gone out of your mind, Livingston?
Not recently, sir.
We can't waste fuel on cutting grass. It must be done manually.
Oh, is once a year sufficient, Sir Gregory?
Manually, man. Oh, well, that's enough of that. I've a more important task for you.
Thank you, sir.
The newly formed British Fibre Board wants government help in promoting the use of British materials.
The British Fibre Board?
Yes, they want to cut down unnecessary imports.
Oh.
Now, here's one of their lapel badges with their Buy British slogan.
Ah, yes, very neat. Made in Japan, I see.
You go to the British Fibre Board tomorrow and see their chief executive, Mr. Keane.
Yes.
Come in, gentlemen.
Thank you. Mr. Keane, I believe?
That's right. I'm number 1 BF.
Pardon? Oh, I see. Yes, Chief Executive, British Fibre.
Yes, indeedy.
Yeah.
Now, I'll come to the point straight away.
Yeah.
Our people have produced a remarkable new canvas. It's reinforced with nylon-reinforced terraline, so it's immensely tough and it won't fray. Here, you see?
Oh, my word, it is tough. It's like a canteen Welsh rabbit.
And you want us at the Ministry to promote the use of this canvas?
Yes, indeedy, yes. I'd like you to send some to the Royal Marine Commandos. Urge them to use it for their tents when they're camping around Europe.
Yes, well, you can count on us, Mr. Keane.
Yes, indeedy.
Splendid. And so much for canvas. But now for wool. There's been a major breakthrough in wool.
Terraline sheep?
Well, not quite. But one of our farmers has bred a new sheep with a very high-quality wool.
Is that so?
Yes, indeedy. Dibble, his name is, and we'd like you to get a sample of wool from him so he can be given an official Board of Trade certificate.
Oh, now don't worry, Mr. Keane. We'll soon get him certified.
Grand. Now, I must apologize for these strange noises.
Oh, it's you. I thought it was that machine over there.
It is the machine. May I explain what it's doing?
Please do.
Have you ever thought about women's underwear?
Only in the evenings when the television's off.
Please, forgive my colleague, Mr. Keene. He's been out in the sun without his bowler hat.
Indeedy. Now then, up till now, wool hasn't been thought glamorous enough for ladies' underwear. But this machine can spin wool as fine as silk. Come and see for yourself.
By Jove, yes, that's most impressive. It looks almost like cobwebs.
No, those are cobwebs. This is the wool. Now, I want you military chaps to send a batch of this to the Women's Royal Army Corps. Suggest that in future it should be used for their underwear.
You leave it to us, Mr. Keene. We'll give the underwear our closest attention. Just one more letter, Mildred, and then we'll get down to important matters.
Righty-ho, sir. I'll put the kettle on.
Good. Dear Mr. Dibble, the government are most interested to know that you have bred a sheep with super-quality wool. Please bring a sample to this office at your earliest convenience.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
But could you remind me how to spell convenience?
Yes. Well, of course. Just put as soon as possible.
Sir, I'll get it off today.
Thanks. Now then, too. How do we stand on those other jobs, eh? Did you send the Marines that canvas for their tents?
Yes, I did one. And I've ordered more Made in Birmingham labels from Hong Kong.
Good. Well, I had the wool sent for the women's army underwear last week, so I think we're on top of things.
Sir Gregory will be delighted. He'll come in here all smiles and he'll say...
Let me get my hands on you!
Let me get... Oh, dear. He's not all smiles. He's baring his teeth.
You useless bird-brained nitwit.
Did you want us, Sir Gregory?
Want you? I wouldn't want you if you were given away with trading stamps. Do you know what you've done?
Perhaps you'd remind us, Sir Gregory.
You've had the Marines use a new material for their tents, haven't you? Wool. Woolen tents.
Now, I think there may have been a slight error, sir.
There's been an almighty error, Lennox Brown. A commander unit were camping in the rain, and the tents shrank so much they woke up pinned to the ground. Can you imagine their fury?
It must have been intense.
Their CO is now using the main marquee to keep his boots in.
That's very unfortunate, sir. The wool should have gone to the Women's Royal Army Corps, you see.
Exactly. And what did go to the Women's Army?
Do tell us, Sir Gregory.
The canvas, man, the canvas! With orders to use this coarse, tough material for their underwear.
An awful bloomer.
These women have been marching around in canvas drawers, and they're extremely sore about it.
Yes, they must have had a rough time.
And that's not all.
I didn't think it would be, sir.
This canvas has writing on it, intended to apply to the tents.
Writing, sir?
Yes, ma'am, writing. Some chest garments bear the legend, "For extra support, tied to the nearest tree with a strong rope."
Oh, glory.
And certain briefs carry the words, "Keep flap open in case of sudden attack." It's appalling. The more I think of you two, the less I think of you. I can't say any more.
Thank you, Sir Gregory.
Don't I lose all control and strangle you? No, I apologize to all concerned, and the incident is closed. But hear this, both of you. There will be no more mistakes in this office from this day on.
You can count on us, sir.
Well, we have a cabinet minister coming to inspect all departments. Dame Nora Steele will be here next week.
Dame Nora Steele?
Now, luckily, I shall always be with her, so I'll be able to give all officers a 4-minute warning that we're on our way.
We'll be prepared at all times, sir.
Yes, well, obviously, I'll do my best to steer her clear of this section.
So Dame Nora Steele's arrived, has she?
Yes, Fatty Scott saw her.
Excuse me, sir. That farmer we wrote to is here, Mr. Dibble. He's got a big box with him.
Yes. Now, that'll be his sample of wool. Show him in, would you, Mildred, please?
You can come in, Mr. Dibble.
Oh, afternoon, gents. I thought I'd come up in person, like, to see how you city folk look.
Well, I'm sure you'll like what you see, Mr. Dibble.
I like to see for myself, you know. As we say down our way, if you makes your living out of wool, 'tis plain and sure you ain't no fool.
Right, sir. Yes. Well, thank you for bringing the sample.
Well, it's in this box, sir.
Yes, just put it in the corner, Mr. Dibble.
We'll look at it as soon as we can.
Oh, well, as we say down our way, reap the corn and cut the hay, get on the job without delay. I'll come back in an hour, shall I?
Oh, dear me, no. You better come back next Friday. We're busy people here.
Yes, as we say up our way, we toil from dawn till set of sun, or at least from 10 till 1:30.
But I can't come Friday. 'Tis Pillicking Day.
Now, look, don't quibble, Dibble. We'll look in your box as soon as we can.
All right, then, all right. But are you sure you can cope?
We can cope with anything here. No need for you to hang around. Now, we'll be in touch.
Oh, well, then, I'd best be off. As we say down our way, there's no time to stand and wrangle when your plums are ripe and your peaches dangle.
Odd chap. I don't know whether that string was to hold his trousers up or keep his legs on.
Can we look at the wall sample?
Yes, you can go ahead. Now he's gone.
Right.
I hate examining things with the owner standing over me.
It's a big box, isn't it? I'll tip it onto the floor and... oh!
Good grief. It's a lamp.
Yes, and it's done something satirical on the carpet.
This is ridiculous. We wanted a sample of wool, not a sample of sheep. If Sir Gregory caught us with a lamb in the office, he'd think we'd made a boo-boo.
You're right, he'd go berserk. Like that time he found a frog in Fatty Scott's in tray.
Well, we must get Dibble to take him back at once.
Excuse me, sir.
Mildred. Oh, yes. Has Mr. Dibble gone?
Yeah, he went straight out, didn't he? He'd be halfway down Whitehall by now. Oh, look. There's a lamb sitting in your chair.
We know that, Mildred. That fool Dibble brought him in his box.
Oh, isn't he sweet? Here, I'll give him a lump of sugar. You're welcome.
I say, he's eating it. I wonder if he'd like this digestive biscuit.
No, he doesn't like that.
No? Did you see that? He kicked me on the nose.
Oh, stop fooling around, too. Now, we've got to decide what to do.
Yes.
What was it you came in to say, Mildred?
Oh, yeah, I nearly forgot.
Yes?
Sir Gregory rang, sir. He said something about a 4-minute warning.
What? Now, shut up, sheep. 4-minute warning. 4-minute warning. That means that he's on his way here with Dame Nora Steele.
But, Mum, they'll see the sheep. They mustn't. They can't.
Oh, be quiet, too. When did Sir Gregory ring with this 4-minute warning?
Well, about 3.5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Good grief. We've got 30 seconds to hide the sheep.
Yes.
There's no time to get it out of the office.
Where should we hide it?
Shove it in the knee hole of your desk, too. Oh, come on. Get it in there. That's it. Go on, that's it. Now, sit down, too. Sit down and don't move. Now, grip the sheep with your knees.
No.
Oh, he likes it under there. He's chewing your socks, Mr. Lamb.
Well, I assure you, then, Nora, there's nothing worth seeing along here. It's just the General Assistance Department.
That is the next place I wish to inspect.
Yeah, wouldn't you rather go somewhere more interesting? The boiler room, perhaps?
Nonsense, man. We're going here.
Right. Stand by your desks. This is Dame Nora Steele. May I present Lennox Brown and Lamb.
Good afternoon.
Please forgive my colleague, Dame Nora. He can't get up. He's having a little trouble with his knees.
What was that, Pitchet?
Yeah, I think that was Lamb.
He's having a little trouble with his voice, too.
Indeed. What are you actually doing at this moment?
Well, come along, Lamb. Don't just sit there looking sheepish. What are all these papers lying around?
Let me see. Regulations for meat rationing.
Oh.
Dated 1940.
1940?
Yes.
No, that's not the date. It's, that's the code number, you understand, the code.
But I don't understand. We've plenty of meat at the moment, especially mutton. There are sheep everywhere.
That's true.
We have to be prepared, Dame Nora, you see, in case of a shortage in the future.
Bah!
What did you say, Lamb?
I said barring accidents, there may not be a meat shortage.
I shall return tomorrow to study this office in depth. I said I shall return tomorrow.
I'm afraid I'll be away for a few days then, Nora.
All the better. I shall come along here alone and probe these men's projects.
Good Lord.
Come along, Pitkin. I've lots of questions to ask you.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Two, we've got to think. We must get this brute out of the way till Dibble can collect him.
Let's put him on the roof, one. He's used to being in the open air.
The roof? Yes, that's not a bad idea. Now, you get hold of the animal, too. No, grab the other end. That's it. Got him?
Yeah,
good.
yes.
Right, now I'll open the door and check the coast is clear.
Well, would you have them and ease it? How'd you manage to get a sheep up on the roof without being seen?
Oh, Mr. Lamb hid him under his coat.
Where's Mr. Lamb now?
Well, I sent him home, Mildred. All the excitement was too much for him. Worse than the office party.
Oh, it's been a bit upsetting for you and all, sir. Why don't you go too?
Now, I'm leaving now. First thing tomorrow, we'll have to set about getting rid of that sheep. I need all the rest I can get.
Wish there was something I could do to help. General Assistance Department, to whom you are in communication with?
Come off it, Mildred. It's me, Bernard.
Oh, hello, love.
Coming to the flicks tonight. They got that new thriller, The Kung Fu Exorcist.
Well, I don't know, really. I've had a blooming awful day here, Bernard. We had this sheep in the office.
You what?
Seemed it was some sort of boo-boo. Shouldn't have been here at all.
Here, do old Tom and Jerry want to get rid of it, then?
Well, of course they do. Why? Can you help?
Sure. My mate's a butcher, isn't he?
Morning, man. Sorry I'm late. I had to go and buy some sardine rolls for the lamb's breakfast. I'll take them up on the roof.
Yes, all right, too, but don't be long. I'm going to phone Mr. Dibble and get him to collect the brute.
Yeah, back in a moment.
Oh, hello, Lennox Brown bleating. Speaking.
Dibble here.
Oh, good. I was just about to ring you, Mr. Dibble.
Ah, well, as we say down our way, when I do think on phoning thee, 'tis 10 to 1 thee's phoning me.
Now, the point is, you must come and collect your sheep at once.
Oh, you're in a hurry to get rid of him now, are you?
Yes. We were able to inspect him sooner than we thought, you see. Now, can you pick him up this afternoon?
No, I can't. 'Tis Goosefettle Day today.
Oh, Lord, I thought it would be.
I'll come and fetch him tomorrow. Meantime, I rang to check you're looking after him.
Well, of course we're looking after him, Mr. Dibble.
Larry's very valuable, see? Special new breed, new kind of wool, as you know. Worth $250,000, Larry is.
$250,000?
Only one of his kind, isn't he? Anything happened to him, be 10 years breeding down the drain. Cost you a fortune, that would. As we say down our way, them as lose another's jewel will end up paying something cruel.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Dibble. Thank you for ringing.
Our troubles are over, one. The sheep's gone.
Ah, good. What?
Yes.
Gone?
Yes.
But he can't have gone. Two, he's worth $250,000.
Oh, I say.
Dibble just told me. He's the only one of his kind. Dibble will sue us for a fortune. Go and find him at once.
But where can I look? He's gone.
Morning, all. You're wondering where the sheep is?
Yes.
I got rid of him for you, didn't I? See, my boyfriend's got this mate who's a butcher.
Hey, you don't mean Larry the Lamb's been butchered by a butcher?
Well, no, sir. We were going to take him to be done, but we couldn't. Not after he smiled at us. So we took him to Earl's Court.
He smiled at you, so you took him to Earl's Court.
There's a big sheep fair there this week, you know. Sort of an ideal lamb exhibition. So we slipped him in among all the other animals.
Oh, glory.
Oh, I knew you'd be pleased. He'd be well looked after. There's thousands of sheep there from all over the world.
Mildred, look, I know you were trying to help, but that sheep's the only one of its kind. If we don't get it back, the farmer will sue us.
Ooh.
Quick, two.
Yes.
We must go to Earl's Court and find the beast.
But how will you recognise him?
Oh, I'll be able to do that, Mildred.
Well, all sheep look the same, don't they? I mean, a bundle of wool with a leg at each corner.
I've got a big bag of sugar here, and I'll know Larry at once by the way he wags his tail when I give him a lump.
And after all, there can't be that many sheep there.
No.
Good grief, too. I've never seen so many sheep. We must have been here 3 hours. and we haven't checked a quarter of them.
It's so confusing. Every time I climb into a pen, the sheep start moving about. I can't remember which ones I've checked.
Well, can't you count them as they go past?
I tried that, but I fell asleep.
Hello. Look, over there, see? Now, those sheep are on the move.
Oh, they seem to be queuing up to go through that small green door.
Yes, this is your chance to get them one by one. Now, quick, hop into the pen.
Aren't you coming with me?
No, you're better at this sort of thing.
Huh?
Now, I'll supervise from outside the barrier.
Yes.
See what I mean? Now, off you go, two. Go on.
Right. Larry, where are you? Larry.
Stay in the line of sheep.
All right.
Follow them through that small green door. Yes, you'll have to crawl through there, too. Keep going. That's right.
Hello, viewers. Well, as you've probably gathered, this is Forth Robinson here at Harold Court's annual sheep fair. The first time this great agricultural event has been televised. We're watching a display of automated sheep handling. As the unsuspecting creatures come through that small green door, they're picked up by a strong but gentle clamp, which holds them against the shearing machine. There goes one now, and then the newly shorn lamb is plunged in a vat of red sheep dip. Aha, and now it's onto the conveyor belt to be dried by revolving brushes. And finally the beast is branded on the rump with a red-hot iron. And through the door comes another one. But what's this? I've never seen a sheep with a bowler hat before. It isn't a sheep. It seems to be some kind of man, crouching on all fours. Oh, my word. This must be a publicity stunt. Already the shears have removed the rim of his hat and the lapels of his jacket. Let's hope there's nothing else obtruding. Aha. And there he goes into the sheep dip. I must say he seems quite excited.
Oh, really, too, this is too bad. Everywhere I take you, you make an exhibition of yourself. Now sit down and listen to me.
I can't sit down. I've just been branded prime lamb.
Oh, do stop fussing. I found Larry while you were larking about in that machine. Now, he's over there in a pen by himself.
With no rim to my bowler hat, I feel like a rabbi.
Be quiet, too. We must grab him quickly, and I'll open the gate, and then you dash in.
Look out. Here comes an attendant.
What? Oh.
Hey, you two. What do you think of the doing?
It's all right, my man. We're ministry official.
Oh, well, I'm little Bob Peep.
How do you do?
Watch it, son, or I'll flatten you. Clear off the pair on you. There's the door. Now go. Come on, get going.
All right.
Get out of it.
Push.
Now then, two, move quietly and keep your voice down.
Suppose someone sees us. They'd arrest us for breaking in.
Well, who's going to see us? The night watchman's over the other side, and the attendants have all gone home. Just mind you don't wake up the sheep.
Oh, it was awful climbing in up that garbage chute.
Desperate cases call for desperate remedies. We must get Larry back tonight. Dibble's coming to collect him tomorrow.
It's so dark we shan't be able to see him.
Well, he's along here somewhere. Just keep opening the pens till we find him.
That's him, one. I'd know that laugh anywhere.
Quick, open the gate, show him the sugar, and he'll follow us. Now, we'll go through that side door, too. Everything's going to be all right. Well, nearly there, too. It's nice to be back in Whitehall again.
But why did we have to walk all the way?
Because I didn't fancy hailing a taxi with a sheep trotting behind us. Would have attracted attention.
Oh, well, I suppose all's well that ends well. Come along, Larry. That's not far to get you. I say one.
What?
It's not just Larry. There are lots of other sheep.
Oh, grief. You idiot, too. You must have left the doors open.
Left the doors open?
Well, sheep follow each other, don't they? Larry followed us and the others followed him.
Oh.
There's a line of sheep stretching all the way back to Earl's Court.
Yeah, but one.
Oh, don't just stand there. Shoo them back. Come on, shoot.
Then
Shoot.
Go back and shoot.
And now here is the news read by John Marsh. Reports are still coming in of sheep running wild throughout central London. And even in Broadcasting House. Sheep have been especially active in the Westminster area, and several invaded the Houses of Parliament. In the Commons, one stood on the government benches, bleating for over an hour. A short-sighted backbencher said it was the best speech he'd heard from the Prime Minister. Other rams were seen in a London record shop. They were in a distressed condition listening to Bing Crosby singing There'll Never Be Another You. Early this evening, two men with bowler hats and shepherd's crooks were rounding up sheep in Pall Mall. They declined to give their names, saying they were just sheep that pass in the night.
So, the sheep are back at Earl's Court again.
Most of them, Mildred. There is still quite a lot in the London parks.
Oh, Mr. Lamb has been up all night trying to catch them with a sort of giant butterfly net.
Anyway, Mr. Dibble's got Larry back.
So, you could say it's all sorted out.
You could say that, but you'd be wrong, Mildred. Sir Gregory's back today from his long weekend. Now, what's he going to say about the sheep in the parks?
I want a word with you two about those sheep.
We can explain, Sir Gregory.
Congratulations, both of you. A brilliant idea.
A brilliant idea, sir?
Putting sheep in the parks to crop the grass.
Oh, yes.
Cuts out motormers, saves fuel and manpower.
Oh, really?
And, of course, tourists love that sort of thing.
Sir, there's a farmer in the outer office, a Mr. Archer.
Ah, he's the man who's bred these new cows with specially rich milk. Yes, I asked him to bring us a sample. Just put it on my desk, Mildred.
Well, if you insist, sir.
What the devil? There's a cow in your office, Lennox Brown.
We'll get rid of it, sir. Don't get cross over
Muddling through as the men from the Ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley and John Graham. The programme was written by Edward Taylor and John Graham and produced by Edward Taylor.
Time to meet the men from the Ministry. Join us once more for a whirl round Whitehall with Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham, and the men from the Ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. In the General Assistance Office, a small band of experts stand by to help any ministry that's overloaded. Normally, life runs to a steady pattern, but once in a while, Secretary Mildred Murphin gets a surprise.
Oh, you're in early, Mr. Lamb. It's only 10:30.
I know, Mildred, but there's a lot to be done.
What? You mean you're actually working? Oh, won't you be having your usual nap before 11's in?
I'll have to see how it goes. We're assisting Customs and Excise, you know.
What? Say.
We're helping them collect value-added tax, you know, VAT.
How's that? Do you know, I've never understood what that's all about.
That makes 50 million of us. But we've got to have it to reduce unemployment.
Is that what it's for? I thought it was to put up the cost of living.
Well, that too, of course, but fighting unemployment's the main thing. VAT needs an awful lot of people to run it, and if we didn't have it, they'd all be out of work.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Morning, Joe. Morning, Mildred.
Morning, sir.
Sorry I'm a little on the late side. Had some trouble with my back this morning.
Trouble with your back?
Yes, couldn't seem to get it off the mattress. Yes, I dropped into the stores on the way up and collected this VAT calculator, as issued to VAT inspectors.
Ah, that should be useful. I suppose you use these knobs to set the figures.
That's right, and that disc is for storing information.
And what's the big spike on the end for?
That's for poking people who won't pay up.
I've been answering these VAT queries from the public one.
Oh, well done.
Lady says, I forgot to deduct 8% from my profits for VAT, so I'll be in trouble when the taxman calls. For £6,000, what should I take off?
What did you reply?
I said, take everything off and hope for the best.
I see.
I'd better go and bring in your 11s.
I want to finish this VAT job so I can start my article for the staff magazine.
Oh, not again, too. I thought you gave up when the editor rejected your last piece. He was rather rude, wasn't he?
Well, he did say he had to rewrite it before they could throw it away.
Yes, that was it.
But he added a very helpful P.S. He said if I sent him any more of my stuff, he'd tell me what I could do with it. Anyway, I've hit on a subject that's sure to interest him.
Oh, really? What's that?
I'm going to write a history of this ministry building. It was started in the reign of Henry IV, Part 1, you know.
Really? Not Norman?
No, Henry. I've asked the people in archives to let me have any historical documents they can find.
Oh, yes, well, I suppose it can't do any harm. But remember, we must make a success of this VAT job.
Yes.
We don't want Sir Gregory getting cross again.
Oh, I don't think there's any way to stop him. Sooner or later, he'll poke his ghastly face round the door and say,
I want a word with you, Tom.
That's exactly what the ugly old brute will say.
Two.
Oh, dear. It is the ugly old brute.
What?
Not you, Sir Gregory.
Be quiet, man, and listen.
Yes.
This new VAT handbook you've had printed.
Ah, yes, sir.
There's a footnote printed on the cover.
Oh, quite so, sir, yes. As I recall, it says VAT inspectors must always be consulted before 6.
We wanted people to know the office hours.
Indeed. Well, look at this misprint. Your cover, in fact, states VAT inspectors must always be consulted before sex.
Oh, dear, that's rather unfortunate.
On the other hand, it could be a new source of revenue.
No! Silence, Lamb. This is a monumental blunder. There's a public outcry, questions in the House, letters in the press, and 6 more film stars have gone to live in Switzerland. Well, now, let me tell you this. One more slip-up, and I'll have you touring the North Sea oil rigs without a boat.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Well, no fear, Sir Gregory. We have things well in hand. We're about to start collecting unpaid VAT.
And not before time. Unpaid debts and taxes are bringing this country to its knees.
Well, at least he didn't chuck anything at us this time.
And stop talking about me behind my back.
No, sir. Yes, sir. Please don't throw your pen at me again, Sir Gregory. You broke the nib last time.
Ah!
Oh, and you've done it this time, too.
Are all these old documents yours, Mr. Lamb?
They're on loan to me, yes. Those 2 chaps from archives brought them up.
They look really ancient, don't they? All yellow and crumbling.
And the documents are pretty old, too. Some go back 300 years.
And you're using them for your article?
That's right, Mildred. This one shows there was a General Assistance Department here in 1675.
What, you mean just like ours?
There, do you see?
Here, this old writing and all strange. The Office of General Assistance and Sundry Doings.
Yes, you see, an S was very often an F in those days. It's all historical.
God, with 1 or 2 words, it could get hysterical.
Listen to this. The office is administered by one Deryck Fitzderyck, a tardy fellow these winter mornings.
Oh, I say. Oh, and look here. He hath with him Master Richard Lambkin, a naughty knave who doth fritter his time on silly writing.
They are affifted by the wench Mildred, who doth bring them every hour a great quaffing of tea, which doth please them mightily.
Yeah, I wonder if they had a boss like Sir Gregory Pigskin in them days.
Well, there's a reference here to a Squire Gregory Pigskin, who doth make malcontent and discord, and doth hurl insults and quill pens at Master Richard.
Fancy. What sort of work did they do?
According to this scroll, they were helping customs and excise, collecting taxes, it says, from divers merchants in the city of London.
Oh, that's just like you and Mr. Lennox Brown. Oh, they were very thorough, weren't they? Some of these old tax bills are still marked for immediate attention.
My word. Are they?
Morning, Tor. Hello, Mildred.
Shut the door, Van. All my papers are blowing on the floor.
Oh, don't fuss, too. We'll soon pick them up. What are they, anyway? VAT bills? Hello. This one's marked unpaid.
Oh, that bill's 300 years old, sir. Mr. Lamb got it for research.
I don't care how old it is, Mildred. It was sent out by this office and it hasn't been paid.
But there wasn't any value-added tax in those days.
It says here in black and white VAT. It's due from a London brewery.
Oh, wait a minute. That must be the brewery VAT tax. I've just read about it in these old documents. Brewers paid a tax on the number of firkins sold.
Well, this brewery still owes us 3 pence. And what are they called? Oh, yes, Mann, Tipples and Greaves.
The firm may not exist now, sir. They may be debunked.
Of course they exist. I've seen their building in Pudding Lane. They make that extra strong beer with the slogan, Ale and Farewell.
But we can't go and bother them just for 3 pence.
We're civil servants, too. It's our duty to bother people. And it's not just 3 pence. With compound interest over the years, it's now a large amount.
How much, I wonder? We'd never be able to work out a sum like that.
Just leave it to me.
Leave it to you, sir? But it took you 4 days to work out the tea money. And then your answer was in square yards.
Now, Mildred, I have this pocket calculator. It's electronic, you see. I just press the right buttons and the answer lights up on this little screen.
Oh, what fun.
Now, this will show us what the brewery owes. Now then, let's see. 3 pence multiplied by 1200 divided by 4, say 5%. There we are.
What does it say on the screen, man?
It says... You've made a boo-boo, mate, try again. I knew these calculators were no good.
Well, look, perhaps the accounts department could work it out for us.
Yes, good idea. Give them something to do. Then we'll call on these people and collect what they owe.
I'll give the brewery a ring. We'd better arrange to see their managing director.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Tipples? I said you wanted to see me.
There's 2 ministry men coming to the brewery on behalf of Customs and Excise.
2 ministry men? Making trouble, I suppose. I said trouble, I suppose.
Aye, like as not. I hope the accounts are in order.
Oh, yes. I balanced the books at the end of the month. I said I balanced the books at the end of the month.
I don't care if you balance the books at the end of your nose. As long as we don't owe any tax.
Well, I assure you, everything's in order, Mr. Tipples. I said everything...
All right, lad. Don't stand there fingering your ledger. It sounds like they're here. You best show them in.
Oh, right. This way, gents. I said this way, gents.
Good afternoon. I'm Lennox Brown, General Assistance Department. This is my junior colleague here, Mr. Lamb.
How do you do?
The worse for seeing you. What's all this about?
Mr. Tipples, recent investigations have revealed that your firm owes the government money.
It's a lie. Good day to you.
Good day, Mr. Tipples. It's been nice.
Check 2. Back here at once. Now, Mr. Tipples, I have the document with me, and it clearly states that this brewery owes the ministry 3 pence.
3 pence? By heck, it's an insult. I've a good mind to give you a mouthful of knuckle.
Keep calm, Mr. Tipples. Remember your blood.
Oh, what's your row, Greaves? No, wait. You can help for once. Go and look up our records. Check if we do owe them 3 pence.
Well, what year does this refer to? I said, what year?
1675.
You what? I thought he said 1675. I thought he said 1675.
He did. I don't know if this is some sort of joke, but by heck, we're going to sort it out. And then I'll sort them out. Go and look up the files for 1675.
Right, Mr. Tipples. I said...
You realise, of course, that when I said the debt was 3 pence, I was referring to the original sum 300 years ago.
Allowing for compound interest, our accounts department tells us it's now £210.
But, of course, we're inclined to be generous. We'll knock off the £10.
Oh, you pinstripe parasites. Not better to do than dig up tax debts from 300 years back. By heck, you'll have to be dug up in a minute. I'll hammer you both into the ground.
Mr. Tipples, I'm beginning to detect a hint of hostility in your manner.
Well, here we are, then. I found the file for 1675. I said I found...
All right, Greaves. Did we pay the VAT tax or not?
No, we didn't.
We didn't?
There you are. You do owe us money.
No, we didn't pay tax because it wasn't due. We didn't get paid for the beer.
What? What do you mean Someone owes us money.
Yes. I said yes.
Well, who?
Well, according to our 1675 file, this threepence was due on beer sold to a London office. See, it says, beer supplied to the office, I said office, of general assistance for their annual Christmas party. They never settled our bill.
Oh, aye. How much was it?
£200. I said 200 quid.
General Assistance Office. That's your lot, isn't it?
Yes, in a way.
So you owe us money.
But we couldn't possibly pay £200.
Who said £200?
He said £200.
£200. 3 centuries ago. Allowing for compound interest, the amount due must now be... pass me my calculator, Greaves.
Here you are, Mr. Tipple.
Thank you now. £200, 300 years, 93 days standard interest, and take away that. There's your answer, lit up on the little screen. You see? You now owe us £3.5 million and 43 pence. But we're inclined to be generous. We'll knock off the 3 pence.
Are you sure we should tell Sir Gregory? This £3.5 million debt's the sort of thing that upsets him.
Well, he'll have to be told to. I mean, it's a ministry debt. It's got to be paid. Sir Gregory should be very pleased we've been so conscientious.
Well, I'll stay near the door in case he's only slightly appeased.
Come.
Oh, good morning, Sir Gregory. May we have a little word with you, sir?
Oh, you haven't come crawling to ask for a rise, have you?
No, Sir Gregory. But now that you mention...
Oh, silence there. The only rise you'll get will be on the end of my boot.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Well...
You did mention the other day, Sir Gregory, that your outstanding debts should be paid promptly.
Yes.
Unpaid debts and taxes, you said, are bringing this country to its knees.
Yes, those were my very words.
Yes, well, now, we assume that also applies to ministry debts.
Ministry debts? Well, of course, if there were any, which is highly unlikely. I mean, what...
There is one small ministry debt, Sir Gregory, which is somewhat overdue.
More than 6 months?
Yes, a little more than 6 months, sir.
To whom is the money owed?
To a brewery, Sir Gregory. Man, Tipples and Greaves.
I see. I suppose they sent us liquor for the office party last Christmas.
Not exactly last Christmas, sir.
No, well, we'd better pay them and have done with it. Now, where's the treasury checkbook? Ah, here we are. Now then, how much do we owe them?
Yes, Sir Gregory, the actual amount may cause you some surprise.
Well, not more than £9, I hope. The Treasury don't like double figures paid out on Friday.
It is actually more than £9, sir.
What? Well, not 10, surely.
We can honestly say not 10. I'm afraid it's a trifle more than that.
Perhaps we should write down the actual figure on a very long piece of paper.
Don't stop all this nonsense. How much do we owe this blasted brewery? I demand to know now.
£3.5
million
pounds.
Sir.
£3.5 million pounds. £3.5 million pounds?
And 43 pence, but we beat them down to 40.
It's an old debt, sir, dating back to 1675. With compound interest, the original sum has grown somewhat.
But knowing your views on debts, we knew you'd want to pay up.
I shall not pay 1 penny. Not 1/2 penny. And that's final.
They threatened drastic action if we didn't pay, Sir Gregory.
The only drastic action will come from me, Lamb. I'm going to take you both to that door and kick you up the passage.
Before you do that, sir, I'd like to point out that my junior colleague is right. We could face a court action, sir. I mean, Mr. Tipples says he'll sue us.
And he looks a real sewer.
Court action? Don't be absurd. They'll never take this to court.
Silence in court. Silence in court. Be upstanding in the case of Man, Tipples and Greaves Brewers Limited versus the Office of General Assistance, now known as the General Assistance Department, Whitehall. His Honour presiding, Mr. Justice Luck.
Secretary, you told us they'd never bring this to court.
Well, I may have said that, yes, but this is merely a routine gesture, a formality. They've no chance of squeezing $3.5 million from the government. I know the judge. Old Justice Luck, sir, a member of my club.
Oh, good.
Watch this, Lennox Brown.
Yes.
I'll give the judge a secret Masonic sign, and then we'll be on the winning side.
Oh, how lovely.
There, I've done it.
He's seen you, Sir Gregory. He's looking at you over the top of his spectacles.
There's a rather stout, florid man making obscene gestures at the bench. I call upon a police officer to remove him from my court. I'll consider his punishment later.
But, my lord...
Be quiet, officer. Eject that hooligan at once. I now call upon the counsel for the plaintiff to outline his client's case.
To eat up your lunch and behave yourself. That waitress has got her eye on you. She doesn't like you building houses with their sugar lumps.
Sorry, man, but I've always had this creative streak.
Yes, well, very well. Now, listen. Now, pay attention.
Yes.
Now, you'll be called as first witness, this afternoon. Now, you're sure you know what to do?
Oh, of course I do. I know how to behave. I've seen lots of court plays on TV. I can't wait to get into that witness box.
Now, will you please answer my questions as briefly as possible? You are Richard, Canterbury Lamb?
I do. I am.
And you work at the General Assistance Department in Whitehall?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Well, I work if I have to. When that stout, florid man is bullying me.
I see. Now, will you tell the court in your own words how and when you found this invoice?
Yes. Your worship, your honour, your courtship, I only wish to be understood, to be treated as a human being, with rights, with feelings, with hopes, and with fears. If you tickle me, do I not bleed? It is a far, far better thing I do than ever before in the field of human conflict. As God is my witness, sentence me, and you sentence my generation.
By Jove, too, you really made a fool of yourself. I was so embarrassed I hid my face in my bowler hat.
Well, those two policemen had no right to drag me from the witness box.
You're lucky too many whitecoats didn't drag you from the court.
I was only trying to be like Margaret Lockwood in that film.
You are not Margaret Lockwood. Even if there is a slight resemblance.
I shall take it up with the Council for Civil Liberties.
Nonsense, too. You've taken enough liberties already. Now, luckily, I am the next witness. I'll show you how to behave.
Now then, you are Deryck Eric Savage Lennox Brown.
I have that honour. And may I be permitted to say, madam, how attractive you look in that very becoming wig and gown.
Will the witness please confine his remarks to the matter in hand?
My pleasure, Your Honour. And you look extremely smart, too.
You are employed in an executive capacity in the General Assistance Department?
That is true, madam. But may I say that although I am now a senior official of high standing, my career began there in 1940 in a humble position. I well remember the day I commenced work as a civil servant. July the 14th, a Tuesday, if my memory serves me correctly. I should have begun on the Monday, but I had a sore throat. It was, I need hardly add, a different scene from that which we know today. And it was thus that I found a totally new use for ministry forms.
Mr. Lennox Brown, you've now been in the witness box for 3 hours.
My word, doesn't time fly? Well, that brings me then, madam, to my second week in the civil service. I remember sitting there...
Perhaps this witness had better give his evidence in writing.
You two buffoons ruined everything.
We did our best, Sir Gregory. But that judge was biased. It was jolly unfair barring us from the court.
And fancy fining you £10 for contempt.
Has he announced his decision on our case?
He has, Lamb. We have to pay the brewery.
£3.5 million, eh?
No, Lennox Brown. The judge insisted on allowing for inflation over the last 300 years. We now have to pay 3,000 million.
3,000 million's quite a lot, isn't it?
Still, I mean, if we've got to pay it, that's it. I suppose the government will print extra money.
We'll get no help from the government. The PM's very anti-civil service, ever since we put VAT on shorty raincoats. No, he says this is our debt, and the ministry must find the money.
But how on earth can we raise 3,000 million?
We could have a raffle. Or a coffee morning. Or I could sell my collection of matchbox labels. I've got over a dozen.
Oh, be quiet, Lamb. Now, the PM suggested various ways of getting the money. We're to sell some ministry buildings for a start.
Oh, good gracious.
Well, he says desperate cases need desperate remedies. He's determined to make us suffer.
And here is the news read by Edward Cole. The civil service is in grave financial straits, following judgment against them for £3,000 million. The sale of Whitehall buildings continues. The Foreign Office is to become a luxury hotel. And the Home Office will open as a supermarket in the Nosharama chain. Displaced ministry staff are having to work in Hyde Park, most of them under canvas, but some in an old brick building, described by a spokesman as a great convenience. In the remaining offices, many workers have started cottage industries to raise funds. Secretaries are weaving and spinning coarse yarns. Executives are learning basket work, and many government premises are full of crude little baskets.
Mind, sir. At least our office hasn't been sold.
Well, hardly surprising, is it? The developers took one look inside and said they wouldn't have it as a gift.
Pity the furniture had to go. It's no fun sitting on these orange boxes.
Here, that reminds me. They're taking the filing cabinets tomorrow. I'd better finish sorting them papers.
Yes, right you are, Mildred, and then you can fetch our 11s.
Well, I'll do what I can, sir, but there ain't much bread and water left.
There's some crusts in the map cupboard, Mildred. I got them from the ducks in the park.
Righty-ho, sir. Oh, and there's an old man in the corridor, sir, barefoot and in rags. I think he's gathering firewood. Shall I send him away?
No, you'd better not. That's Sir Gregory.
Do you think he's coming in here, one?
Well, there's no need to be nervous, too. He hasn't the strength to throw anything at you.
Now then, you two.
Come in, Sir Gregory. It's warmer in here. We're burning old files.
I don't care about anything anymore. I'm just a foolish old man.
Now, Sir Gregory, you mustn't say that, even though it's true.
It's not your fault the ministry is bankrupt, sir.
Here, listen, everyone. Look what I found.
Oh, is it something we can eat, Mildred?
No, sir. Among them old papers are Mr. Lamb's. Look, it's a copy of a letter.
It's dated 1675 and addressed to that brewery.
It's a complaint from Richard Lambkin, sir. He says that beer for the party never arrived.
Good grief. Do you see what this means?
They don't owe any tax.
And we don't owe any money.
Because the beer was never delivered.
We're safe.
We don't have to raise 3,000 million.
Everything's all right. Aren't you pleased, Sir Gregory?
Pleased? When you made us suffer all this for nothing, let me get my hands on you.
Muddling through as the men from the ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma, Ronald Baddiley and John Graham. The programme was written by Edward Taylor and John Graham and produced by Edward Taylor.